Okay, this is episode 2 of Project Communicator. I feel like last time I didn't clearly communicate my purpose with this project, so I'm going to say it again. My purpose in this project is to gain feedback from others by of what I am communicating through these videos and practicing my leadership skills and just my presentation skills and the way that I'm able to explain concepts, theories, or ideas or projects. So with that being said, this video, episode 2, is on the tote storage that I built in my basement. I built it for 27-gallon totes, and we'll walk over there and look at them together here. So these are the 27-gallon totes that I'm referring to, and I built this because I feel like a lot of storage shelving units are built with a lot of wasted space. So they always have boards going across this way, and then you put something on it, and then you kind of leave this space up here, it gets wasted. So with these totes, you can put things in them and store things all the way to the top of the tote, and then you take up that whole space. So I feel like it's more efficient, at least for me, in storing a lot smaller things, to build this storage unit or this storage shelving system. So the way that I built it was I built a bunch of ladders. So if you look here, this is basically a ladder like you're gonna use to climb to the top of your roof or something like that. And basically I built, there's 2 upright 2x4s and then a bunch of 2x4s as the steps, and I built 3 of those where it's the double-sided ones, and then I built 2 of the single ones for the ends here. This one is single, and then this end piece over here is also single. You can kind of see that there. And then what I did for the top and bottom was I just ran a long board that these ladders sit on top of. And then I did the same thing for the top for reinforcement. It really makes a giant square. And you'll notice there is some empty space at the top here, and I do plan on using that. I just haven't gotten to it. My plan is to put a board, like I was mentioning how most shelving systems are built, so that I can still use this top space for whatever else I can fit up there, because it's kind of close to the ceiling. And I used 2.5 inch, number 8 2.5 inch Spax T25 screws for all my 2x4s. And then, did I do 2.5? You know what? I actually can't remember. It was either 1.5 or 2.5, but I know for a fact that the screws that screw the top 2x4s down into the ladders are 3 inch screws, and maybe you can see up there. So those are 3 inch screws that come down into this ladder here. And I think that's just because it's really hard for a shorter screw to maintain its strength if the board wants to go this way or this way. So I did 3 inches all the way around the top and the bottoms. And then one of my favorite things that I did here was added these brackets on the back side they have like, I don't know, a half inch screws each, but there's 4 of them, so it really braces up the corners here. Not that this thing will be taking any abuse from wind or weather, but it makes me feel comfortable when I'm loading and unloading heavy totes onto here. One thing that I will say that I made a mistake on was my tolerances are honestly a little bit too tight. And here's a perfect example. I really measured it I measured from the top of this lid on this side to the other side, and that became my measurement. And I really didn't think to include even a 1/2 inch or a 1/4 inch or whatever. So I feel like that would have been better if I had to rebuild this, and I might rebuild another one at some point for either the garage or the other area in the basement. I'll definitely include better clearances. So yeah, and the other reason that I wanted to build this, I think I missed that at the beginning. If you have ever been in a house that there's kind of a lot of things scattered everywhere, and your brain subconsciously thinks about all those things that you're looking at as you're walking by them. I have a bunch of paint supplies right here. So take that for example. Let's say you have to walk past your paint supplies every time you're going to your workbench. And every time you walk by those paint supplies, your brain is going to subconsciously think about a painting process or project, or, just the fact that the paint is there. And it's, if you do that a lot, in my opinion and in my personal experience, that kind of adds up. And think about if it's something that you are interested in and you don't have time for. There's all kinds of things that we have in our homes that can really take up a lot of mental space as well as physical space. So if you're hiding your personal items, whatever things that you store in your basement, if you're hiding those, your brain can't subconsciously see them every time you walk by them. And it's like a little freeing for you to be able to just walk down this hallway and just know that there's black red totes to my right, and not, my hunting camo clothes that I had when I was 14 that I probably should throw away. So that was another thing that I was kind of excited about building this storage unit, or this storage rack. And it's also just, when I finally fill it with all the rest of the black and red totes, it'll look really uniform and nice. And it's also nice and sturdy too. So things not going anywhere. But that's it for episode 2 of Project Communicator, and I will see you on the next video.